Hey, Fred, who's your favorite Pirates player of all time?
Well, Matt, that's a toughie. Neil Walker is moving up that list quickly. However, I'd have to go with Jeff King. How about you?
I like Andrew McCutchen. He's the MVP after all.
Young Matt, you sure picked a good one. I had almost forgot about Kutch. Well done.
People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a one-boy, cuddly toy, my up, my down, my pride and joy. People, let me tell you about him. He's so much fun. Whether we're talking man to man or whether we're talking son to son, 'cause he's my best friend. Yeah, he's my best friend. La la, ba da 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 ya, ba da 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 ba, ba da 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 ya, ba da 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 dee bo bo ba, rubba dee bo dee bo ba, rubba dee bo dee bo ba.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Bucco Banter. As usual, my name is Fred Rossano, and my cohort in crime is...
Matthew Peaslee.
Well, Matt, it was another couple up and down weeks for the Pirates, mostly overshadowed by some major injuries.
Right, that's we get Garrett Cole on the disabled list on Sunday. Very next day or the day after that, Neil Walker has an emergency appendectomy. I mean, you can't really fault him for that, but it's going to be on the disabled list for a while for him too, overcoming everything that happened with him there. And then Francisco Liriano goes down in his most recent start. So you can't plan for these injuries. You got to expect maybe they happen, but three of your top players go down like that. I mean, Neil Walker's having just an unbelievable season. It's a career year for him. Awesome bat to have in a lineup, and you're done, not without him for at least 2 weeks. Cole, maybe his injury doesn't seem as severe as it could be, just maybe some shoulder fatigue, they say.
Take any chances there, that's for sure.
Yeah, give him some rest, missed a couple starts, and then get back to 100% after that. But I'm really concerned about Liriano. An oblique strain or tear, that's kind of what Jason Grilli went through earlier in the season. And he was gone for about 30 days. And, I mean, Liriano hasn't had the best stuff this year, but he's still our number one or number two starter, and you really don't want to see him down for longer than you need to.
Yeah, a little obviously pretty inconsistent so far this year, but yeah, you hate to see that because he's one of your horses that you want to be out there every 5 days. But and those obliques, they seem to be like the hot injury the last few years there, and they say they're very difficult to anticipate how long you're going to be out, especially with a pitcher who's torque, I guess, in your side, whatever. It's pretty serious. You have to be perfect, or else you just won't be able to throw.
Yeah, it's the starting rotation. This time last year, we were praising the starting pitchers for staying healthy, for playing out of their minds, and now there's question marks all over the place with our starting rotation. We lose Wandy Rodriguez forever now. And then number one, number two starters, Cole and Liriano. You hate to be without those two guys.
Yeah, you're basically right now. You have Compton, Jeff Locke,
who pitched well.
Yeah, he did a very nice job the other day. And there's talk now, depending on what happens with Liriano, of is Vance Wohlers?
Vance Worley, the guy they got from he was with the Phillies, I believe, for a couple years there, but he's been doing well in AAA. I've heard the name Jay Jackson. I remember seeing him pitch during spring training, who's doing okay at AAA too. So maybe this is a chance to get these guys to get some major league starts and see what they can do.
There's always plus you got to look at the injury to tie on and say as everyone always says, you never have enough pitching, and that's proven again to rear its ugly head, I guess, when you're bringing up guys that you really should be at AAA or pushing the guys above them only because of their talent, not because you want them to come in due to injuries. But it's you cross your fingers with Cole and with all of them, I guess. And you hope that they get this out of the way and before maybe before the All-Star break, and after the All-Star break we can be healthy. But you never really know for sure.
All the Pirates did in the offseason was bring in Edison Volquez to kind of shore up that rotation. They signed Charlie Morton to that long-term deal, but and their backup plan for this time of the year was to get Tyon to come up and strengthen the rotation even more. And with him having Tommy John surgery, that all the plans that they had for the rotation seem to have just fallen apart, and mostly due to injuries.
On the plus side of things, we finally saw the arrival of Gregory Polanco.
The long-awaited arrival of Polanco started in right field the other day in a loss to the Cubs. Again, he went 1 for 5 in that debut, so he didn't light the world on fire by hitting a grand slam in his first at bat or something like that. But he's going to be the future of our outfield, and I think if his past track record shows of his AAA success and all through the minors, he's going to maybe hopefully carry that over to the major league roster.
I kind of feel sorry for the poor guy. I think it's just, there's so much pressure. He just turned 22, I believe, and you just can't expect, these guys to just go into a major league uniform and just start to produce. This is the reason why you have them in the minors, and I agree 100% with what their philosophy is. If they in their own mind don't think that the guy is ready, the guy's not ready. I mean, what were you doing at age 22? Of course, that's not that far away from you.
Yeah, but still,
I was just learning how to tie my shoes or something.
I was learning. I still don't know how to learn how to tie a tie. So that's something I should have learned when I was 22. But it's a big step for him. I mean, I just think about when he was signed by the Pirates when he's 16 years old, playing on the streets of the Dominican Republic. Yeah. His first professional game, I mean, he probably played that in front of 1,000 fans. And then he walks out at PNC Park, and it was a good crowd the other night, about 31,000 for him. And just, I mean, playing in front of that crowd and with all eyes on him. I mean, all those people bought tickets just to see him. Yeah. It was so long awaited for him to be up. I mean, people wanted him up at the beginning of the year. People wanted him up last week. People wanted him up a couple of months ago. The time was finally there for him to come out, and now you hope that the rest of his career, these games are just normal games for him, and he can take that pressure off himself and just deliver. But until he gets that first major league home run or steals his first major league base, there's still gonna be that pressure on him that he needs to come through, and that's maybe not fair for a guy like him. But you just hope that he can live up to the hype a little bit, but I don't think he's going to be the next Clemente, but maybe he could be the next Danger McCutcheon.
You hope so. You hear people already saying, "Oh, he's going to be Rookie of the Year." I heard somebody on the radio the other day say he's Rookie of the Year. How do you know? You just don't know.
There was concerns even about putting him in the starting lineup on Tuesday against a lefty. Travis Wood. And if you have those concerns already about him, obviously he's not the savior that can hit pitching from both sides of the mound, but he's going to take some lumps. He's going to go 0 for 5 one day. He's going to strike out 3 times in the game, but every player does.
You hope that that outfield becomes the best outfield in baseball, and all you can do is just go by what they can do and just cross your fingers from there.
Right. It was fun in that first game that Polanco gets his first major league hit with a single, then Kutch brings him on home with a 2-run home. You want to see that more with Marte getting on base too, and just having those 3 to deliver, because they have potential and they just have to keep performing up to that potential.
And now it is time for Bucco Banter's Show and Tell. Mm-hmm. And Matt, what have you brought for us today? I hope it's something big.
Oh, I think it is. It actually had to be shipped in here. It's so big. It's not even fit on this table. But this is a little homemade project. Check out this little, I'm right here, collage made by myself and my girlfriend after the Pirates went to the playoffs last year. From the wild card game, all of their accomplishments during the season. You got Bucktober, you got Buckin', you got all kinds of things that happened, and we saved up newspapers and magazines from the season and put all together, and here we go.
Ain't no stopping us now. That's from '79.
Yeah, so everything's kind of tied into this this board right here. And so
it is big.
See?
Ask the experts. Ask the experts. Ask the experts. Ask the experts.
I love that bird. And you know what time it is now.
Oh, I know what time it is. It's music to my ears, too. It's time for ATE, Ask the Experts. And Matt, you're going to go first today because I'm having a bad hair day and I don't want my hair to get messed up.
You're right about that.
Okay, question number 1. What in the world is wrong with Starling Marte? Has the new contract gone to his head? Big Lou of Wintersville.
No, Lou. You know what? I was wondering the same thing. He was going over 23 up until Monday's game, and he goes 3 for 4. So maybe he needs some more time in the lineup. He missed 4 or 5 games just from sitting on the bench, maybe to work on it, or because he wasn't performing. Maybe they just needed to give him some time away from the game. I think he had a hit the other night too.
He just seems lost out there. It's almost like he can't field, he can't hit, and he can't run now.
His base running blunders are coming almost game after the game. He's not tagging up on fly balls. He's running on fly balls with one out.
Stopped.
And then he stopped. Doesn't know what he doesn't seem like he knows what's going on. So again, you don't know what's going on inside his head. He is a major league player. He's been in the big leagues for over 2 years now. He's been playing baseball his life. You should know not to run on a pop fly with 1 out. But
yeah, we yell at little leaguers for that.
yeah. So, but again, his struggles at the plate. You didn't expect this at the beginning of the year. The way he hit pretty well last year in his first full season at the majors, I think he had about a 285 batting average for the season. Now he's lucky if he's hitting around 200. He's going about 220, I think. But there should be some competition. The way Josh Harrison's playing, does he take over that left field position? If Gregory Polanco is going to be the mainstay in right field, I mean, I hate to give up on Marte like this. You can't, but he's got to be able to work through these things because he knows he can hit. And he knows he can be a ball player. He just has to translate.
I don't think it's like it's something that he's doing that's getting him in the doghouse. It just seems like he's just, for the last couple of weeks, he's just out there. Man.
And with baseball, that's easy to do almost. I mean, you expect these major league players to know what's going on every single pitch, but it's a lot to ask them.
Would.
And for what they get paid, you expect them to
know
deliver,
how many outs there are.
But they make mistakes. I mean, they have errors.
But
they
it's
have
not so many bunched up though.
Right. Yeah. So he's got to break out of it somehow.
Question number 2. What is your favorite baseball movie and your least favorite baseball movie by Eddie K. of Wellsburg?
All right, Eddie K. I really like sports movies. I mean, whether it's Remember the Titans, that's a football movie, Hoosiers, basketball movie, but my favorite baseball movie of all time is Rookie of the Year, early 90s movie about the Cubs. 12-year-old kid is a horrible little league player. He has shoulder surgery and can automatically throw 100 miles per hour fastballs. The Cubs sign him. They win the World Series. It's very funny. Starring Gary Busey as a Major League Baseball player, too, which is also very funny. I was 5 or 6 years old when this movie came out. I watched it when I was that little. I could probably recite every line to you right now. I just really, really like it. It reminds me of childhood, and I still watch it almost once a year before the baseball season starts, just because it's that meaningful to me. That's my favorite.
That might be my least favorite. But what is your least favorite?
My least favorite is a movie called Bench Warmers. Don't know if you've seen it or heard of it.
I like that one.
That one? Yeah. It just came out a couple years ago. I thought it was the stupidest thing ever because these grown men are playing baseball against these little league kids.
That's what makes it
I think that's what makes it stupid. The funniest part of that movie is the grown guy from the Dominican that has to present his birth certificate.
Oh, I know the line.
And it says like I am 14 on the thing on this.
He's got documentation.
Yeah. That's the literally only funny part. Because then there's that kid that stays in his room and is all pale and whatever. It's so stupid. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, he doesn't like the sun.
Yeah, I think that's stupid. So is that your favorite?
No, that's not my favorite, but it's among the favorites. I've watched that probably like 6 times within the last year.
You aren't as sophisticated.
All right, we move on.
Well, what's your favorite? Your favorite?
I'd have to go with either The Rookie.
Okay. Jim Morris.
Or was it baseball movie or was it sports movie?
No, baseball. This is a baseball show.
Or The Natural. Mm-hmm. Or Major League. All 3 of those.
Yep. Those are good picks, even though you should think about Rookie of the Year some other time, too. Better than Bench Warmers.
No. Well, maybe I didn't have this on. Maybe this thing's hot. You must have been overloading or something.
Here's one for you. Can Gregory Polanco live up to his hype?
We just touched
This is from
on
Terry of Bel Air.
We just touched on that. I would say At this point, no. What's he going to do? Go 4 for 4 every night?
that's what people are expecting.
I think really the thing that all this Gregory Polanco stuff has just been media created, whether it's the newspapers, radio. It's like, let the poor guy come up when he wants to come up. I don't see other teams being critical, other fans being critical of other teams not bringing up their guys. I mean, he only has 200 at-bats in the minor leagues or whatever, and I'm sure he'll be fine. But you're never going to be able to live up to your hype. What's he going to do? Like I said, he'd go 4 for 4 every night and make spectacular plays, gun out guys at the plate, be stealing bases or at will there. Whatever. It's just not going to happen.
He's only 22 years old. He doesn't know how to play this game better than a guy like Andrew McCutchen or a guy like Derek Jeter or somebody that's been around for 20 years.
I don't remember the same obsession with when McCutchen was brought up.
Not as much, no.
I just never remember that the same hoopla being. Like I said, it's a media creation. They are saying that the fans demanded he be brought up. They owe him an explanation. They owe the fans an explanation why he wasn't brought up. They've said it all along with Alvarez. They've said it along with McCutchen or Garrett Cole or whoever else it is. They will bring him up when they think he is ready to be brought up, whether that's mentally or physically. He's not prepared to play in the major leagues. It's a lot of pressure.
Now here's one for you. Neil Walker goes on the disabled list, which brings Polanco up. If Neil Walker doesn't get hurt, does Polanco come up, or are we still waiting for him? Do we wait another 2 weeks for him, or when?
I would say that would probably be the case. A couple more weeks or so, but I don't know for sure.
Right. Again, you want to think that it shores up the lineup a little bit, that if he can't have that bat, that's going to make a difference. So,
but again, their philosophy is you bring this guy up now, and they always said that with Alvarez. I forget who got injured when they said even when they brought him up, they didn't want to bring him up at that time. They said they were concerned about he was being brought up too early.
No.
And if that's their philosophy, that's their philosophy. I agree. Whether I agree with it or not, that's their philosophy.
And it seems to be injury-wise, they're not getting. Kutch hasn't gotten hurt. No, whether that's a thought. Pedro hasn't gotten hurt, but Pedro led the league in home runs last year. Kutch was the MVP, so maybe that time in the minors did pay off for them to develop into a good career major league player.
It isn't just going out there and why not bring every guy up from when he's 21 or straight. Why do you go from single A to double A to triple A? There's a reason for that.
Yep. That was a good question from Terry. Last one for you of the day. When Neil Walker returns from the DL, who goes? Travis Snyder, Jose Tabata, Clint Barmas? It's from Eric of Weirton. Somebody else? That's a good question too.
Wow, I think I was thinking it was going to be Travis Snyder, but I'm not so sure now. I'm thinking it might be Barmas.
Yeah.
They seem to like what Snyder's doing as a pinch hitter, albeit he's not doing a whole lot as a right fielder. But I'm thinking it might be. They could surprise us, but I think it might be Barmas. I'm not sure because they're probably thinking that.
But then who's the backup at shortstop? What about a guy like Gabby Sanchez or somebody that's? He's kind of disposable too.
Yeah, could be some trades in the coming weeks coming up.
Yeah, so there's a lot of interesting things developing now with the disabled list and the players coming and going. So we'll just have to see what happens on our next episode of Bucco Banter because it could be a completely different topic of discussion by then.
We'll see you next time. You don't even know who Jeff King.
Second baseman, third baseman, mustache like yours.
He was a very boring player.
Early 90s.
That's why I liked him.
Yeah, so everything's kind of tied into this board right here.
It is big.
See, it took a lot of time to put this together.
It's big. God. Okay, I can't say that, so I'll just say it's time for ATP.
ATE.
ATP. Wow. Ask the perverts.